everybody, welcome to Duty Finder Hero number 3. I'm Debo. As always, if you'd like to watch me play my games live, you can check me out on twitch.tv/spsdebo. And of course, if you'd like to see where I upload all my videos and where I put this daily vlog and other things, make sure you check me out on YouTube at DeboSC2. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the video, and I hope you enjoy. Hey guys, the Duty Finder brings us into the map, or the first Heavensward map, or Heavensward Dungeon, or Heavensward Dungeon, man, I could barely talk today, called Stone Vigil. You unlock it at level 51, so after you get some initial quests done, get your first level, and get towards doing some quests, they'll send you over to Dust Vigil. But enough with that. The last guys you checked in my last Duty Finder Hero, number 2, I was working on my warrior, went ahead and finished that, so everything worked out pretty well. Like I said before, I came back after the game, after I finished Alexander Savage, or I was around the time when Alexander Savage was out. I left, and I said, well, I'm going to come back when I get a lot of content, so I'll have a lot of stuff to do, and lo and behold, I came back. So I had to do a lot of catching up. I was able to get the Paladin all geared up. He was situated for the most part. Only thing I really can do is do my weeklies to get my item level 250 gear from Alexander Normal. Alexander Savage, I still have to look into finding a static to do that, but I heard Duty Finder's not that bad. You just have to, you know, kind of sift through the groups until you get a good one. So I'll be looking into that shortly, and I do believe that's for item level 260 up to 275 gear. Or I think it might just be 275, I'm not too for sure, but basically 260 and up, you know. Got everything situated with him, was able to get, you know, my Paladin weapon situated 235 and get most of my gear set up well 240, and I start upgrading pieces. Well, from that point, I was actually able to get I think a couple pieces are still 240, mostly my accessories, but he's pretty much up to a gear score of 247. By next week, or the end of next week, or, you know, actually once Tuesday hits, I'm pretty sure I'll be at 250 average for my item level. They released a new patch for the Palace of the Undead, which unlock floors 51 to 100. Of course, you can go up to 200, but that's if you just basically want extra rewards and stuff like that. I was mostly concerned with just knocking out the new 50 to 100, so I can upgrade the Aether weapon I already had, which is item level 235, to the Kenna Blade. Everything is named Kenna, different blades for whatever, different weapons for every class. So basically what happens is, the first weapon you get from the Palace of the Dead is 235. I recommend going and getting it if you haven't already did it. It's a good way, especially coming back in the game, to get a good weapon. You have to get another weapon up to 60, and also your armor up to 60. If you go do Palace of the Dead, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So basically I ran the dungeons again, starting at level 1 up to about 50. And I reset maybe once or twice, got my weapon up to 30. Then I went ahead and proceeded to do the new Palace of the Dead levels. Was able to do floor 50 up to 100. Just kept basically resetting. And the only thing you gotta do to upgrade your previous weapon that you got from Palace of the Dead doing floors 1 through 50 is just complete floors 51 to 100. Get plus 60 in your arm, or your weapon, or however you want to say it, and your armor, and then just trade them your other weapon. You'll have to have the previous, you know, weapon that you traded plus 30, plus 34, and then it will upgrade that 235 Aether weapon to the 255. So I went ahead and did that on the Paladin. Then immediately afterwards, if you guys were keeping up, I had been doing a side project of leveling up a warrior, just so I had another tank, just in case. If you go to a party, they already have a tank already. Let's say a Paladin, I can switch to the warrior, and vice versa. They already have a warrior, I can switch to my Paladin. Got that bad boy to 60, got his cross skills, yada yada yada, talked about in the last video. Got his weapon for the 255, so I was quite happy with that. Now, I finished both of those guys. Yeah, at the beginning of last week, or this week, or whatever you want to say, last week, I did all my raids right away. Like, I woke up as soon as the server reset, about 3 in the morning, the patch dropped. Immediately start doing Alexander, like right away. Got through with some good groups, got a couple more pieces of my my 250 set, was able to pick up the 260 Shire for the legs. I'm going to be saving up for the chest piece next. That's the next thing I want to get, because those are 2 important parts for the tank. And then, you know, I did a little bit of Palace of Dead, took a sleep, woke up, start grinding the Palace of Dead, and like I said, that rest was history. So Warrior and Paladin, I think, are pretty much Savage ready. I'll say they are. But you know, I'm a perfectionist. I just want to get us all the best pieces I can, and when I have nothing else to give for them, then I'll start looking into Savage or doing Duty Finder. So by the end of this week, or most certainly beginning of next week, which will be, I think, the second or third week of November, or actually probably second week of November if you want to count it that way. But I will start doing Savage, and I'll make sure I talk about that. So since I got those done, and there's not much else to do outside of those 2 tank things, because basically I'm locked out on getting them new gear. Basically I have to wait once a week to get the new gear, and plus I'm working on my scriptures. You only get 450 a week. The next piece I want to get for my tanks is the chest, which is 825, which is not going to be done this week, but the next week. I started working on the healer. If you guys last off, I told you the Conjurer was 34. I had to level up the Arcanist to 15. I made a mistake and level up the Thartamage or whatever, however you say, up to 15 first, but I didn't need that. I need the Arcanist, so I went back, leveled up the Arcanist to 15. Then I went ahead and transformed into a White Mage, and then I just proceeded to take the White Mage from level 34 all the way up to 50. Pretty straightforward. I had gear waiting for it, especially when I got to 45. I did the quest along the way, but especially at 45 when you do the White Mage quest. Works out nice because they give you a lot of nice gear. So did all that, just grinding dungeons because it's insta-queue. It was kind of a little bit of nightmare, but you know, we got through it. Some people were pulling too crazy for the gear I had, but we dealt with it when we just dealt with it. If somebody was really crazy, I just AFK'd, or I just... Well, not AFK, but I just said, like, y'all can vote kick me or I'll just leave. And they would vote kick me or I'll just leave. Because, like, some people just, you know, they don't get it. They got to go at a slow, steady pace. I didn't have the gear to do it. Got the White Mages to 50. Then I had to go back, level the, and this was, well, okay. Leveled the Arcanist from 15 to 34. I had a blast with that. Even when I hit 30, I went ahead and just did all his quests anyways. As I figured, you know, I'm going to come back and level this up for a Summoner because that's going to be my DPS class. Did all the quests for that. Got a Summoner. Hit 34. Great, had a good time. Got the Eye for an Eye cross-class skill for my White Mage, because you gotta have that. And I said I'm not gonna go past 50 unless I get my cross-class skills. Then I had to go back and do the Thartamage from 15 to 26, which was a nightmare. Got through it, but now I got Swift Cast, so I got the 2 major cross-skill abilities. There's other ones I could probably take, but those are the 2 main ones I know you wanted. The Swift Cast, which lets you basically insta-cast a spell after you use it, and of course the Eye for an Eye, which puts a shield on a good tank or a target so they can absorb a lot of damage. So then after that, I started leveling my White Mage, which was great. Got him from 50 to 51, then just doing regular dungeons. Then I started doing the Heavensward dungeon, which you see right here. I think I ended the day at, I think 53. So I got one more level before I go ahead and get to 54 and start, well, I'm trying to think, 51, 52, 53. I do believe the next dungeon is at 54, so that will be something to look forward to. And I'm just grinding out the dungeons. I'm not really having a problem healing. I just gotta stay on my toes, and I'm doing all right. And then, like I said, I'll grind that up to 60, and then what I'll start working on is just capping the White Mage out in all 240 gear right away. And then I'll start working on the White Mage, eventually getting 250 or whatever else. I'll be able to get his weapon 255 very easily, but the priority is to gear up the tanks first with the Scripture gear. And, you know, then I'll do the White Mage. So I'm actually excited about that. So once I get the White Mage to max level, and then I go ahead and start working on the gear for it and get him all decked out in gear. Then I'll start the Summoner and do the same thing. I don't know how tough it's going to be for a Summoner because unfortunately the queue times are longer, so I'll figure out a system. Maybe I'll do Palace of the Dead, or maybe I'll just grind the dungeons up. Who knows? And then after that, I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do next. Maybe I'll start doing Savage and doing other things, or who knows, I might level up another class. I got a ton of things to do, a ton of things to keep me busy inside this game. I'm enjoying myself, and I want to keep playing it until I stop enjoying myself. So that's pretty much what's going on. I want to start uploading the Duty Finder Heroes 3 times a week. And then I'll have the podcast uploaded Saturdays. So expect Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays for the Duty Finder Hero to come up. So I'll probably want to, like I said, for the rest of the month, I'm going to at least try to get on the habit of doing 3 videos a week for, you know, what I'm doing in terms of whatever game I'm playing, but most importantly for this little Final Fantasy segment of the Duty Finder Hero. And I'm also going to start uploading different dungeons where I just basically do like the dungeon from a tank point of view or a healer point of view and record it. So if anybody needs to watch a dungeon video, they can see me run through it. I'll commentate here and there so people know what's up with the boss fights and little tricks of the dungeon. You know, very short videos, just talks about the boss fights, what you want to do, how you want to set up for it, and little tricks you could do inside the dungeon. So look out for those. Outside of all that, the OST that's playing is, of course, the OST for Dust Vigil. And like I do with my other videos, I'm just going to go ahead and shut up and let you guys enjoy the rest of this dungeon. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, or like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. Leave a comment if you guys got any feedback on what else you'd like to see in the world of Final Fantasy XIV, or if you got any questions, or you can check me out on twitch.tv/SPSDebo and ask me live. I'm streaming every single day. I stream for about anywhere between about 10 a.m. in the morning all the way till like 6 in the afternoon, or 10 to 7, 10 to 8, just depends on how I'm feeling for that day. But as always, man, appreciate you guys checking out these videos. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the dungeon. Hey guys, Debo here. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the video. That was Dust Video for the Duty Finder Hero number 3. I will see you guys next time. As always, like I said, you guys can follow me on YouTube at DeboST2. Make sure you subscribe to the channel or check me out live on twitch.tv/SPSDebo. Like the video, share it. Any feedback or questions about Final Fantasy XIV, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Hope you guys have a great day and take care.